Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Mikkeli Peters. Today I'm going to be telling you my top 5 Finnish cities, and again, this is mine. This is not necessarily anybody else's, so you can feel free to disagree in the comments below. Hopefully I'll stay with it today because I've been alternating between sleeping like 12 hours and sleeping 5 hours every night, and usually I'm pretty good at adjusting to jet lag, but not this week. But anyway, since these numbering ones really seem to be interesting to people, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do them in descending order today, leaving the best for last, so you have to watch to the end to figure out which one it is, and probably won't be that surprising to be honest. But spoiler alert, Helsinki is not in this list, and you may be thinking why? Well, I'm just not a city lover, and even though I'm listing more major cities in Finland, uh, I guess one of the differences between the US and a lot of other countries is that in the US you have a bunch of suburban sprawl versus in pretty much everywhere else in the world it alternates fairly starkly between farmland and then city. And there's not a lot of that in between, houses on top of each other, cars kind of situation like we have in the US. So coming in at number 5, it's going to be Lahti. And I know Lahti gets a bad rep because people are like, oh, it's the drug capital of Finland, or, it's just like not a nice city, or there are a lot of other nicer cities. But probably one of the reasons I like Lahti is yes, it has proximity to Helsinki if you need to go to Helsinki. However, it is still a medium sized enough city, in my opinion. I know it is technically on the bigger side of Finnish cities, but also it has a lake in the middle, and its lakefront, I think, is pretty. Okay, those would be my only reasons, and that's why it's number 5. I'm just thinking, to be very honest, there haven't been that many other cities I've been to on this list, aside from some of the more obvious ones like Helsinki, but I'll kind of discuss that at the end. Some other ones I've been to and why they didn't make it on the list. Number 2 is Porvoo, which is near Helsinki. Now, I don't think I would necessarily like to live there, but I think it is a cool place to visit and it's a cute little city, and I really like the whole cobblestone street thing it has going on. I just think it's cute. I don't know, like it kind of reminds me when you go to Tallinn and you can walk around the little city center area. Like, I don't know, I just think it's nice. I don't have much more else to add than that, and I just think the city itself is aesthetically pleasing. Number 3 is Mikkeli. Now, why is Mikkeli on this list? I think I may be biased because the only ever summer cottage experience I had, which I'm very lucky I even got to have one of those, it was so hard. It was like going to an annual ball. These are the things that as foreign people it feels impossible to do, even though to Finnish people it seems like second nature. So I went to a summer cottage and like you had to leave from Mikkeli to go to it, and there's this like port there that I guess I thought was pretty. And I don't know, like the thing that I say is like eventually if you start to go to enough medium-sized Finnish cities, they all kind of start to feel the same. Like they all have the same stuff, like they all have a mall, and they're all gonna have a Prisma and the same kind of grocery stores and the same kind of regular stores. But oh yeah, the really funny thing about being here was I went on this disastrous shopping spree at H&M where I bought way too many clothes. I mean, I still like and wear all of those clothes, but it was just like kind of an excessive amount of clothes. I'm actually going to show a picture here of me shopping. And then it was like I went away to the summer cottage for a few days, and then I came back to Mikkeli and I was like, you know what? I want to go back to H&M and buy that skirt and that shirt that I didn't get because I've been thinking about them all weekend and I still want them. So I did buy them. The skirt I still haven't worn yet, so maybe that's a little embarrassing, but I still like it. um, but okay, that's not why I like Mikkeli. It has nothing to do with the H&M. It's just that's the one memory I have from there. No, but I kind of like the city center area also, and there's like that main drag, and there's a church there, and it's just I like how it looks. Maybe I don't know. I had a good experience at a restaurant I ate at there. I wonder if I can remember which one it was. It's gonna take a minute. We'll see if I can. And yeah, probably just that it has the lake near it. I don't know. I liked it. And even though I feel like it's not that different, like I was thinking, like I've been to Joensuu, it kind of reminds me of that for some reason, kind of. But I think it has to do with like access to the lake. Yeah, Joensuu did not make this list, and I couldn't really tell you why. I mean, I know it has some nice nature and stuff. I just didn't really feel a connection with it. I don't know. Okay, number two is more obvious, and that would be Tampere. Why? So again, I'm not like a really big city person. I know the whole thing is like Helsinki, Turku, and Tampere are like the only normal Finnish cities, or there's kind of this joke among some friends I have that it's called like the Holy Trinity or something. This is what they call it. Like it's kind of like the best area in Finland that you should just stay in, and then anywhere else is not worth being. I'm not sure I agree with them, but I can understand why a lot of people would feel this way. So the reason I like Tampere, I like the trams. And maybe I like that it's kind of spread out a little bit, so you can still go to certain parts of it and feel a little bit more like you're in a smaller town. Yeah, I like that the public transportation is pretty functional. So that's something that I'm neglecting to think about in like Porvoo and Mikkeli. Um, I was going to start speaking in Russian. Okay, because I hate when that happens. Because I haven't like really lived there or spent an extended period of time there or been there without a car or somebody driving me in a car or some sort of easily able to get around kind of access situation in terms of transportation. So Tampere I like because of the transportation. I don't know if I've just had a lot of good experiences there. Like I still have friends who live there. I have a lot of friends who live there, honestly. It's got the ice hockey arena. That's kind of entertaining. I guess I feel like it's a big enough city, but it's not so big that it feels overwhelming for me, contrary to how I feel in Helsinki and Turku. So, yeah, like I've been there a bunch and I don't mind going there. And, it is a bigger city, so more access to resources and stuff. But yeah, the public transportation and me really, I mean, like, yeah, any bigger cities can have more public transportation, so how does that make sense? But like I said, I think for me, it's really just the fact that it's like a little bit more spread out and you can still get like a little bit far away from the city center, but still it's going to feel not as urban. I think that's really what I like about it. It has variety for a city. It also has some pretty water and stuff. It has that factory in that city center area, and it's like on water. Yeah, I just like it. Yeah, but then if you ask me like if I had to live in any of these places, would I? I don't know. Only if I had to. So maybe I'm talking about just for visiting, to be honest. All right, number five, the not so uh, an obvious one, which is Lappeenranta, because that's where I've chosen to live when I'm in Finland. And why do I like Lappeenranta? To be very fair, I spent a very long time hating Lappeenranta, so it's kind of a love-hate relationship. No, I say that jokingly, but also not at the same time. Like, to be fair, I did go through a lot of, let's say, traumatic things. That's very dramatic, but like, I don't know. It's just, I have a whole video about why I think that there are issues with being an international student there, and they seem to perpetuate. However, speaking to my Finnish friend this weekend, she told me that no, that's not just Lappeenranta, that's an every student city in Finland kind of thing. So maybe she's right. I should interview more people from different cities and ask them if they've had the same situation where they're like BFFs with somebody and then all of a sudden they hate each other and never talk to each other again, because I've seen that situation more times than I can count, and I've also been in that situation. So at this point, I just try not to make BFFs with anybody. But if we're talking specifically about the city itself, I've kind of always loved the city. I just didn't necessarily like my social life around the city. So it's like really a give and take. But again, as a place that I've chosen to more or less live or like, commit a sort of residence to, let's say, I'm pretty good, like, okay with that decision. This is a decision I made. I really just love the lake. The lake is my favorite part, and the Rantoraiti trail because I love running on it. So like these were the very emotional things for me that really make me like Lappeenranta. Now I don't love the public transportation situation. And yeah, I would honestly say the first year and a half I was in Lappeenranta for studies, I was like, I just want to go to Helsinki. And I almost got like a job opportunity in Helsinki for my fourth and final semester. And then I didn't. And then I got one in Lappeenranta and then I got stuck there. And it was hard because it was winter. And I remember being pretty depressed in February of that year, but after that, it just got better and then it just kind of stayed fine. I'm trying to think why else I like it. So, actually, that was another thing I was going to mention about Tampere is it's a university town, right? Well, city. I mean, whatever you could say that about Helsinki and Turku also, but like maybe I just like Tampere University better. Like I've been inside of it and I don't know. I like it. I just have a positive feeling about it. Maybe I just liked being in the university, the essence of the university. I also really like LUT and Lappeenranta, like the essence of the university. And I think it's pretty. Like I think it's aesthetically attractive. It also reminds me of community college. Now, I don't mean that in an insulting way because I know also community college gets a bad rap, but like I loved my community college. Like those were the two best years of my life probably, my adult life. Honestly, it's up there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had some other good years, but that's really in the top 5 also. And it was like big enough that there was enough to do and walk around and do. And I also was right next to a really nice place to go running, like this lovely park I loved so much. And like I had enough people I talked to. And that's kind of how I also feel about LUT. It's like small, but it's big enough for me. And then it's got a nice place to run or work out. And then you have the sauna. Like I just, the infrastructure situation for me is working very well. All the amenities, let's say, that are in the area. I'm not sure what else to add. I mean, yeah, there's a city center. I have one Finnish friend who particularly hates Lappeenranta and really dislikes the fact that the university is so separate from the city center. Now, I personally don't dislike that because of, again, I don't like the very urban feel. So the fact that you can keep those kind of separate and then just involve yourself in the city center feel when you feel like it kind of suits me better. We also have an airport, even though it's, I'm pretty sure it's not working at the moment. It was flying to Italy. My biggest regret was not flying. Okay, I say this, but the reality is I didn't even have a COVID vaccine that would allow me to fly, so I don't know why I'm saying this because this makes no sense and this is dumb. But I wish I would have gone to Hungary, like Budapest, and where was the other one? Germany, before they closed those flights. Now it's only Milan. Whatever. Oh well, hopefully it'll come back at some point. That'd make me happy. That'd be cool. But yeah, I would say it's mostly because of the running trail. Like I had this favorite park I used to go running in New Jersey prior to coming to Finland, and then when I found the Rantavarite Trail, I was like, this is my favorite place in the world, and I still feel that way about it. So that's why for me, Lappeenranta is number 1. I haven't found another place to go running like that in Finland, but who knows, maybe it's out there. Okay, so other places I've been that did not make it on the list. Rovaniemi, where I'm currently visiting. Why do I not like Rovaniemi? Too many tourists, especially this time of year. I don't know. I don't feel any particular way about it. Like I haven't even seen the Northern Lights. It's been too cloudy. It's so depressing. I don't know. I don't feel a connection with the city. I don't know. All right, other places I've been, yeah, Turku. I don't know. Like Turku, maybe it feels too Swedish or something. It doesn't feel like Finland. Like the buildings look really different. Oh God, where else have I been? Imatra. The public transportation doesn't work, and it's way too spread out for me. It's kind of like that. It's like the porridge that is too cold, and in Helsinki is the porridge that is too hot, and Lappeenranta is just right in terms of like people density and things being close together. Yeah, Helsinki I don't love because maybe there are no lakes really, and it's just on the Baltic Sea, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense considering I live next to the beach in New Jersey and I really vibe with that. But I think also in Helsinki, you don't really get a proper winter and get snow. It's also just too many people for me. Like, the reason I like being in Finland is because there aren't that many people here. And Helsinki really takes that opportunity away from me. But I did at some point want to be in Helsinki because I wanted to have like more involvement and meet more people. Then I got to this point where I was like, you know what, I'm fine with like the 5 friends I have. Okay, I had 10 friends maybe. That was good. That's a good number. Where else have I been? Hamelina? And it's pretty mid. Like, I literally have nothing else to say besides that. Inari. I literally flew into there. Nothing else to say about that either. I once went to Kuopio, kind of near Kuopio. also pretty mid, but I was also supposed to go skiing, but then I didn't because I was too obsessed with my homework. Yep, that's a me thing to do. I was doing my homework all weekend. I was just happy to be out of the house into another house. Yeah. I was supposed to go like to the actual city part and visit a friend, but that fell through. It was like maybe a year ago that was supposed to happen. I don't even remember at this point. I literally cannot think of any other cities I've been to. Salary Selka because I went with the like a student trip. It's fine for tourism, nothing else. Maybe I'm not a big tourist city person. That seems like that's what this discussion is coming down to. All right, well, that's everything that I have. I hope that was interesting. And you can feel free to debate me in the comments. I'm sure people have opinions about this, especially against the Lahti one. People really hate Lahti. All right, so that's everything. I'll try to record more videos later. It's going to be hard because I'm traveling a little bit this week. Again, trying to grow the Finnish side of my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And until my next video. Also, if you have ideas for videos, things you'd like to know about my opinions about Finland, please leave those in the comments below. Or feel free to email me at migratorymikkela@gmail.com. Until next time, thank you. Bye.